The biggest green ever. Good morning, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you. Welcome to hashtag Better Eights. I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time of the day again. It is 11:45 a.m. and we are cooking greens, 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 and more greens, 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 greens. Yes, yo, greens, 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 and more greens, 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 greens. Walk with me while we cook these greens. How are you? Blessings on blessings. Okay, so today we are going to cook some greens. I'm going to show you how to properly clean your greens, and then we're gonna cook them. So let's get started. The preparation you will need is a strainer, greens, a bowl, and some nice fresh water that I use hot. But you can choose whatever temperature that you may like to choose. So join me while we cook these greens and prepare. Preparation time. Preparation. Be sure that you get your boiling water on. Alright, that water is boiling. Let's get these greens in this water. Like, share, subscribe. This is hashtag Better Ace. I am your host, Chef Divine. And this is Sunday, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go, let's flow, share this out to somebody. You know we cooking greens today, baby. Let's get these greens in this boiling water. All right, now, as stated, I use garlic powder, some seasoning, pepper, salt. That's my mixture of seasoning. It's just the bottle I'm using, but it's my own mixture of seasoning. It has like garlic flakes, garlic powder, and a few other things that I can't mention. But that is my own personal seasoning. Now, what I want you to do, I'm over here getting these greens. Let's get our first batch in there, shall we? Now, take your greens. Actually, I'm going to move this right here. Take your greens and just drop them on in the pan. You want them to do them in batches because you can't just put all the greens in here. I mean, you could if you had a very large pan, but I'm not using a very large pot. I'm just using this pot. Load those greens in there. You just load your greens in there. Now, that's when you stop when it's right about there. But since I have a little more in this batch, I'm going to just put them right. Oh, we have lost. We have had a flying green. The greens are flying. All right. Now we got our greens in the pan. Now, I already have butter and seasoning into my pan, so I will not have to season it. You just push your greens down like so. Push your greens down like so. And make sure that they are in the water. And let's let that batch cook for a second. And it's going to boil down a little bit. Let me bring you up for a closer view. Alright, this is how your green pan should look. Now, we are going to put the lid on that pan and we are going to get our second batch ready. Alright, let's go, let's flow, share this out to somebody you know. Let's get this second batch of greens in here. Let me sit this right there for a moment. Oh, you got greens going all over the place. Now, this is why you want to make sure that the stove is always clean at all times, in case you have the greens that you're putting in there fall from off the top. All right. That is our second batch of greens in there. Now, we will be back. Thank you for choosing hashtag Better Eats. I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom. And today we are cooking greens, 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 and more greens, 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 greens. Yes, and more greens. Gotta get your collard greens, baby. Now, for those of you who don't use meat, I use salt, pepper, garlic powder, and I have a variety of seasonings that I have in another bottle, so I put those in there, which consist of different things like red peppers, chopped onions, and different stuff of that nature. Italian seasoning, oregano, stuff like that. So, thank you for choosing hashtag Better Eats. I am your host, hashtag Divine Wisdom. You may join me Monday, Thursday, and Sundays. That is at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. I will be here to give you a nice inspired on Monday Monday, Thursday, and Sundays at hashtag Divine Wisdom. Let's get that lid on there. We'll be back. Thank you for choosing hashtag Divine Wisdom, who is your host over here at hashtag Better Eats. I thank you so much. Right? I thank you. We have our second batch in there. We're going to let that cook on up. So let's get that lid on there. All right. I want you to join me on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Be sure to turn on your bell notifications so that you will not miss a banging video or an exclusive video drop. And that is on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Turn on your bells so that you can get all of the notifications. Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. This is hashtag Better Eats, and I am your host, hashtag Divine Wisdom. Pardon self for a moment. We're going to get this last batch in there, and we'll be done. All right. Let's get this last batch on in there. Now, I did this in batches of 3. Now, say you couldn't put all the rest of this into this pot. You can also take the rest of these, if you had to, and freeze them. You can freeze this just like this. Put it in a nice bag and freeze it on up. Dry it out a little bit or not, and you can freeze it. But be sure that it's clean before you put it in your freezer to freeze, after you properly washed them. So this is our third batch, you guys. I thank you for choosing hashtag Better Eats. I'm your host, Chef Divine. You may find us Monday, Thursday, and Sundays. Turn on your bell so that you will not miss a notification. And that is on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. Where are you at? At hashtag Divine Wisdom, where we appreciate and value each and every last one of you. Now, I have my water boiling at the temperature of 7. I meant to tell you that it was on the temperature of 7. Now, notice I'm just pushing this down. I have not stirred the pot yet, if you noticed. Push the remaining greens that you have just put in there, which is my third batch. It could be your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, or your seventh, depending on the size of your pot. However, this pot only takes 3 batches. It may can take 4, but possibly 5. But I'm literally just going to do 3 batches. I only cook it in 3 batches in this particular pot. So, now that we have our batches, 3 batches in, I'm going to take a piece of butter and put a piece of butter in there. And then I'm going to push the sides down. And I'm also going to adjust my temperature down to about 5. And we're going to put the lid back on there. Now notice I did not stir the pot yet. Do not stir the pot because you put 3 different batches of greens in there. And you want your greens, excuse me, I seen some water on the other burner. Now you want your greens to cook and all of them to be done. So you do not want to stir the pot yet. You just want to let them cook right now for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then go into your pot and stir it up a bit and ensure that you take the bottom and move it to the top while you're stirring. Go from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top. And there used to be something like a Tracy Lee song. Go check out my boy Tracy Lee. From the bottom to the top, top to the bottom. L, yo, rock 'em while we still got 'em. That's an Philadelphia native. You know what I mean? Now, back to the greens. Now, I want you to go from the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top. I first started cooking this on 7. And I adjusted my temperature to 5. Now, the reason I've done that is because I'm showing you a quick way to cook collard greens. You know how you're at home and you like, man, I want some collard greens, but it's going to take all day to cook. Actually, it's not. If you do my method, it will not lead you astray, and you'll have some good collard greens in 4 hours of a minimum that I will cook them, but I'll say 5 hours, you know, or you can do 3 because they really was done in 3 hours, but I just cooked them for an extra 2 hours just for GP purposes. But in all reality, this is a 3-hour green recipe. Now we are using collard greens in this recipe, and a little while later I'm going to add something to the collard greens. For those who do not eat meat, you can just simply put salt, pepper, garlic, and chopped onion flakes into your greens, and it will taste perfectly fine. I promise you this. This I promise. It will be spectacular. And you add you 3 teaspoons of butter, and you good to go. So I'm going to add beef brisket because this is a beef brisket greens. I'm making beef brisket greens. So we're going to add some brisket in there, but we're not going to put the brisket in there as of yet. So I thank you for joining me here at #Better8, where I am your host, Chef Dvine. We'll be back shortly when we'll be putting the brisket into there. Well, actually, we'll come back before then and we'll stir the pot and we'll let it cook. And let it cook for 2 hours, and then we'll add the brisket within the last hour because we're cooking it for 3 hours. So you let your greens boil for 2 hours on. You can, in fact, you don't even have to adjust your temperature. You can let your greens boil on 7 for 2 hours and then adjust it to 5 in your last hour, which will be the 3rd hour. So I thank you for coming by here on a Sunday and joining me for this beef brisket green recipe over here at #BetterEats, where you better have ate you some nice collard greens. I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom. Turn on your bell notification and join me Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. That is at 11:45 a.m. We have Motivational Monday, where I am your motivational speaker and I will give you the motivation you need to succeed indeed. Please believe, and that is Monday at 11:45 a.m. Turn on your bell notifications and join me at Motivational Monday. Or join me for Viewer's Choice Day, which is on a Thursday at 11:45 a.m. We are always dropping what the viewer would like to see at 11:45, and that is on a Thursday. Turn on your bell notifications. You don't want to miss this banger. Or join me Sundays at 11:45 a.m., where I am your host at #BetterEats. We will show you a nice, inspiring meal for you and your family that is full of nutrition so that you can grow to be the strong queen and king that you are. So, join me Monday, Thursdays, and Sundays. Turn on your bells at 11:45 a.m. This is #BetterEats, and I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom. We'll be right back shortly. Let's get you in that pan and see how those greens are looking. See, they're boiling nicely, nicely, nicely. We'll be right back. We're going to stir the pan. All right now, let's flow, let's grow. Share this out to somebody you know. It is time to add the beef brisket, baby. If you have some beef brisket, get you some beef brisket. I would suggest this is the best meat that you can cook. We are making a kosher greens. Take your brisket and sit it on top. And just sit it on top. Just sit it on top. I put about 10 to 11 little pieces of brisket in there. That is beef brisket. All right, let's flow, let's grow. Share this out to somebody you know. And let's get that lid back on there. All right, all right, all right. I thank you for choosing #Divine Wisdom, where I am your host over here at #BetterEats. Thank you. We are cooking collard greens. This is a kosher collard greens. We are putting beef brisket in a collard green. It is a beef brisket collard green. I thank you. I will show you the end result because we're going to let this cook for another hour. We have stirred it. It has been 2 hours. So I'll see you in an hour. Thank you for joining #BetterEats. I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom. Be sure to turn on your bell notifications and come on by at 11:45 a.m. so that you can get a great recipe for you and your family to enjoy. Also, come on by for Motivational Monday. That is at 11:45. Turn on your bell notifications and join me for Viewer's Choice on a Thursday at 11:45 a.m. also, Eastern Standard Time. That is Monday, Thursday, Sunday, 11:45 a.m. Turn on your bell notifications and come to #Divine Wisdom so that you can get a great recipe or some motivation or see what the viewer has chosen. So we'll be back with the finished result. I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. For I appreciate each and every last one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. For you are mighty, mighty, mighty. Thank you. Keep being the mighty king and queen that you are. And remember to put your best foot forward. Let's flow, let's grow. It's been an hour. We're getting ready to show you this end result. Oh yeah, baby. I'm getting ready to take you up in this pot and let you get a closer look. It has been 3 hours and it is. Isn't this lovely? Such a most beautiful thing. Alright, let's flow, let's roll. Share this out to somebody you know. We are making that good. What? You want that good? Holla at hashtag Better Eats, where I'm your host, Chef Dvine, and we are cooking that good. Today, we have brisket collard greens, baby. Let me take you into this pan and let you see this end result, baby. This is how you want your greens to look, baby. They are done and they are ready to eat. So, I want you to take time to join me on Sundays at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time so that you can get a great recipe for your family. This is Beef Brisket Greens, and I am your host, Chef Dvine Wisdom. It's truly been a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. I value each and every last one of you. So, join me Monday, Thursday, and Sundays at 11:45 Eastern Standard Time so that you can get a great recipe or motivation, or you may see what you, the viewer, has chosen. So, it's my pleasure. As always, remember to put your best foot forward and continue to be mighty. We'll be right back. We're going to plate this up and it's going to be great. So, join me for a bowl of brisket collard greens made by your chef, Divine Wisdom, over here at hashtag Better Eats, where you better have ate you some collard greens. It's my pleasure. I'll see you in a few minutes, baby. Hashtag Better Eats. I am your host, Chef Dvine. I heard you was looking for a perfect batch of greens. If you want to know how to make this perfect batch of greens, holla at me at hashtag Better Eats. I am your host. What? Where we making greens, and more greens. Look at this. This is what you call a collard green, baby. Look at these collard greens. These are collard greens. Man, join me. A hashtag Better Eats. I am your host, Chef Divine Wisdom, and I will teach you how to make a perfect bowl of collard greens. Yeah, indeed.